The next big thing in the NFL, and I believe the Buffalo Bills could also use this, are going to be drones, or as they're sometimes called, unmanned aerial vehicles or UAVs. Um, it's something new, something exciting. Get the fans excited about drones use because no other team would have it other than the Bills. Um, yeah, so as far as laws go, drones are regulated by the Federal Aviation Administration or the FAA. And they're pretty strict about the use of drones right now. It's only they like to keep it to hobby and recreational use and not commercial use, which could be a problem for the Bills if they start, selling footage, things like that. Um, so they probably wouldn't be able to use it at a game. They probably could use it for practice, um, which that would be very helpful for them, and I'll get into that a little bit later on. If they did want to use it for commercial right now, they would have to petition the FAA with a Section 333 exemption form, and that's sort of a hard thing to do right now with only about 60 couple of those exemptions going through, and none of them being pro sports teams. So the Bills, their motto is lead the charge, and I think they could do that with drone use. There should be some new legislation coming out in the very near future about drone use commercially because it is a very gray area right now about what is recreational and what is a hobby and what is commercial. So that's sort of a gray area right now that nobody really there's no black and white about what is a gray area, and I think the Bills using it in the stadium would be considered commercial, so they would have to file for the exemption form. But I don't know if that's really worth it right now because um, all the places that I saw said that there's going to be new legislation coming out in 2015 at some time um, that will go into that. And they sort of have to do this coming out with new legislation with drones becoming more popular. They started off just as for military use, and now they're used 15 to 20% more annually for hobby and recreation. And commercial really can't be judged right now because um, it's not really 100% legal. Um, so if the FAA does put out legislation about commercial use, the numbers would skyrocket. I mean, concerts would like to use them. All sorts of entertainment would like to use them just because they give a really cool shot of the event. An issue with another issue with the FAA and the Bills is there since 9/11 terrorist attacks, there are no-fly zones over stadiums, all major stadiums, and college stadiums are no-fly zones right now. So that could be an issue with the aircraft flying in those areas. Actually, in Serbia, Albania had a soccer match recently, and a drone flew in with a revolutionary flag, and that started a riot. I don't really see any riots starting anytime, any revolutionary riots starting anytime soon in Buffalo, but that could be an issue. Uh, some of the cons about the use of drones. Um, they only have 15 to 30-minute battery life right now. As more people start using them, I'm sure that will get better. But that could be a pain having to bring it down from the sky every 15 to 30 minutes to recharge the battery. They could get in the way of plays. I mean, they're just floating around. They can go wherever they want. They're not like cable cams that are just straight up and down. The drone has more freedom of use. You get the wrong guy on there flying it. You can just see it now on Sports Center talking about Drone Gate with a football hitting drone and could have won a game. Uh, some big time football schools have actually started using it. Like UCLA is one of the big leaders in drones. their coach, head coach Jim Mora said that hand placement, foot placement, and seeing different lanes from that angle is very useful to them, and he thinks it gives them an edge. They just started using it this year, and drones really aren't that expensive when you think about it. You think of this new technology, 800, and it's going to be somewhere in $800 to $1,500 range. So those are going to be less expensive than your cable cams, which could be, obviously the Bills got a lot of money, but $800 to $1,500 isn't really too big of a deal. So I think the Bills should start to use drones, just because they get to be the leaders in it and be able to be some of the first people to use it, which would be huge for a team like the Bills in a small market being able to do that. So yeah.